Eddie Murphy plays a lonely vampire seeking a mate in Vampire in Brooklyn, one of 5 new movies we'll be reviewing this week on Siskel and Ebert. Also coming up, Woody Allen's newest comedy. Sigourney Weaver and Holly Hunter on the trail of a serial killer. And Nicolas Cage is a man in the grip of a fatal compulsion. I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune. Our first film is Vampire in Brooklyn. And after knocking Eddie Murphy's last few pictures, I was hopeful for this one because Murphy was doing what critics have long requested, including the two of us, work with a solid director and co-star with a strong woman. Alas, his latest picture still stinks. Eddie Murphy's film career has bigger problems, I guess, than I thought. In Vampire in Brooklyn, Murphy plays a vampire from the Bermuda Triangle who comes to New York looking for a mate. But first, an early scene establishing him as a vampire as he comes to the aid of a numbers runner played by Kadeem Hardison.
I've been stabbed, and I've been hanged, and I've been burned. Even broken on the rack once, but I've never been shot before. Kind of itches a little.
Who plays Murphy's prospective love partner? It's Angela Bassett, Oscar nominated for her strong portrayal of Tina Turner in What's Love Got to Do with It. However, their romantic scenes together seem tame.
I haven't felt like this since... God, I've never felt like this.
How would you like to feel like this every night?
Is that a trick question?
The movie is also stopped cold every time Murphy pops up disguised in a cameo role, here playing an Italian-American punk.
Police brutality! You're the police! Something with the same... Amorini, so train me and you right now, eh?
Vampire in Brooklyn has few thrills, which is a surprise because it was directed by Wes Craven, a real horror film master. Maybe he couldn't juggle Murphy's comedy demands and the horror genre. All I know is that Vampire in Brooklyn just sits there on the big screen, totally limp, not frightening, not romantic, not funny.
Gene, I'm in total agreement with you. And the screenplay is based on a story by Murphy and his 2 brothers.
That may be the problem.
I think maybe they should start out with somebody else's screenplay and not think they're geniuses at screenplay writing because they don't answer question number 1. Who do we care about in this movie? And why in the world should we care about the Eddie Murphy character who is basically negative and seen in a very confused light? In fact, the whole movie is extremely chaotic when it comes to its point. You know, who do we care about? Right. Where is the story? Yeah. What is the payoff? And why does it matter?
We're not sure whether he's sending up. First, you assume, because it's Eddie Murphy as a vampire, you assume he's going to say a comedy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the heart to go all the way with that.
No.
You know what? Maybe the best solution is he goes and makes another concert film on film because
I don't know. This movie, at one point early in the film, one of his co-actors says, don't pull that Blackula stuff on me. And it reminded me, Blackula is a better movie than this.
Absolutely.
This looks like a movie from the early 70s blaxploitation period, and it looks like a bad one from that period. Okay, next movie. Our next movie is Mighty Aphrodite, one of the best and most ingenious of Woody Allen's comedies, starring Allen and Helena Bonham Carter as a sports writer and a gallery owner who adopt a baby boy. Although Allen in the movie is originally against the idea of adoption, he soon finds little Max the apple of his eye. But it's not long before the bright kid is asking difficult questions.
Who's the boss between you and Mommy?
What is the question?
Who's the boss between you and Mommy?
Who's the boss? You have to ask that? You don't know who the boss is between me and Mommy?
No.
I'm the boss, okay? Mommy is only the decision maker. You know, there's a difference between, Mommy says what we do, and I have control of the channel changer.
Allen grows obsessed with finding out more about the biological parents of his adopted son and secretly tracks down the boy's mother, played by Mira Sorvino, as a hooker who horrifies Woody by visiting him at his newspaper office. Allen's efforts to reform her have led to unforeseen consequences.
Yeah, well, he knows it was your idea that I get out of the business, so he said he's going to kill you, too.
He said he was going to kill me?
Yeah, he said because it was your idea, he's going to cut up my face and put a bullet between your eyes.
Really? Did he specify the caliber?
Against all the odds, they actually become friendly, and Woody tries to fix her up with a boxer he knows. He's played by Michael Rappaport.
So, I'll go, and I just want to bring you guys together, you know? You know, you could maybe stick around, maybe, you know, we could go out or something. No.
Yeah.
I'm completely superfluous. Oh, you don't feel good?
Mighty Aphrodite is audacious in the way it uses a hip Greek chorus in the movie to comment on the action, underlining the classical themes beneath what seems at first to be a modern Manhattan story. Woody Allen himself is very funny in the film, increasingly desperate as he tries to maintain all of his secrets and still keep everyone happy. And Mira Sorvino is wonderful as the hooker, whose total sincerity and relative stupidity work together to create some great comic situations. Mighty Aphrodite is one of Allen's best films, and coming right after Bullets Over Broadway, it shows he's really on a roll.
Not according to me. I didn't care for the picture. Mira Sorvino, I thought, is a delight, and I enjoyed it. It's a classic dumb blonde role. She's very good in it, and it's a lot of fun. The Greek chorus that you praised, to me, stopped the movie cold, which is right at the start of the picture, and every time it pops in. To me, this was nothing more than bad Mel Brooks, History of the World kind of Mel Brooks, although that wasn't as bad as this. It just didn't seem to fit.
Not at all, I think it... You see, here's the thing that I like about Woody Allen is that he's audacious enough to throw in something like that, and
if it works, it would have been fine.
Because he's using, in this modern New York story, he's using the themes of classical antiquity involving parenthood and childhood and so forth.
That's why he has the Greek chorus.
And they are very funny. Olympia Dukakis, David Ogden Stiers, the way they deliver those lines.
Roger, if it had been any other filmmaker, I think you would have laughed it off the screen, not laughed at it.
Not a chance of it, but even apart from the, you're going to throw out the whole movie because you didn't like the Greek chorus?
I'm going to throw it out for a number of reasons. I didn't like the Greek chorus, which keeps popping up regularly throughout the picture. I didn't think that Woody Allen or his relationship with Helena Bonham Carter, his wife in the picture, was anything fresh or interesting at all. And again, the only person that I really cared about and really liked was the Mira Sorvino character.
Well, anyway, coming up next, Hollywood's fascination with serial killers continues as Sigourney Weaver and Oscar winner Holly Hunter track a murderer in Copycat.
You're looking for an intelligent white male, 20 to 30 years old, socially functional.
Luxury cars are known for their high resale value. But what if we told you there's a car that holds its value better than the Lexus LS400, better than the BMW 7 Series, better than any Mercedes sedan built, and it costs under $16,000? Would that stop you? The Nissan Altima, the affordable luxury sedan. Calculations of 93 Altima retaining more of its MSRP than 93 listed models based on information from the NADA guide.
On sale now, it's the hilarious comedy hit.
My dad is Santa Claus.
Tim Allen may not seem like Santa.
You put on the suit, you're the big guy.
But with a new look.
Does this look like a little weight to you?
Some magical elves.
Let's go.
And a team of talented reindeer.
From Comet to Santa. Did you make the card?
Mm-hmm.
He just may pull it off.
It's coming!
Own the biggest hit of the year when you buy Disney's The Santa Claus. On sale now.
Head down to the New England International Auto Show, presented by the Boston Globe, November 4th through 12th at Boston's Bayside Expo. View over 500 new 1996 cars, vans, light trucks, and four-wheel drive vehicles. Plus, there's concept cars like the Backpack and Prowler, new models like the Subaru Outback and the 96 Ford Taurus, and exotics such as the Lamborghini Diablo VT and the Lotus Esprit S4. Meet Thomas Calabro, Dr. Michael Mancini of TV's Melrose Place on November 4th and 5th. It's all at the Auto Show, November 4th through 12th at the Bayside Expo.
Whoa, look at the time. It's almost winter. This is when you can really use a new 96 Chevy Blazer. Blazer has a more powerful Vortec V6 engine, sure-footed four-wheel drive, tough construction. Makes you feel secure and in control in any conditions. And right now, your neighborhood Chevy dealer can lease you a new Blazer for $329 a month. You can afford to laugh at winter.
This is a game they play. They hang around the scenes watching the cops, feeling superior to them, and instead of catching him there, you led him to me.
He didn't write to me. He wrote to you. Why?
Because I'm their damn pinup girl, that's why.
Holly Hunter is the detective on the case of a serial killer, hot after criminal psychologist Sigourney Weaver in Copycat, the latest manifestation of Hollywood's obsession with serial killers, an obsession obviously fueled by the success a couple years ago of Silence of the Lambs. 7 was released a month ago, and in fact, we're reviewing 2 such serial killer films on this program. 3 in a month, Roger. I guess killing 1 or 2 people just isn't enough to make you a big enough villain for the movies these days. In Copycat, we meet Sigourney Weaver as she gives a lecture about serial killers to a college class.
The state of Florida spent almost $8 million to electrocute Ted. Sorry.
The person Sigourney Weaver saw there as a killer she testified against. After a murderous attack on her, he's sent to prison. Eventually, she meets up with a detective played by Holly Hunter, and the two women talk about some recent local murders.
It's the Boston Strangler. He's imitating Albert DeSalvo's crime scene right down to the kinky little details.
Are you telling me this guy's copycatting a serial killer's been dead for
20 years?
The plot thickens when Hunter finds the killer now imitating another famous mass murder. Yeah.
Is the body found near a no dumping sign?
Yes.
Like this?
I could have taken that picture this morning.
He's switched. From DeSalvo to Bianchi and Buono, the Hillside Strangler, 2 men, 2 kinds of sperm. Very witty, our God.
The gimmick in Copycat is that Weaver's character has been so traumatized by the attempt on her life that she's become agoraphobic, afraid of getting out of her apartment and meeting people. Sigourney Weaver and Holly Hunter are 2 good actresses, although I think Weaver overplays her soul and pain persona too much in too many films. Still, I don't think they really connect in Copycat because, frankly, this material is beneath them. There's a lot of fancy talk, but the thriller elements are routine, and these 2 actresses seem totally above it. I didn't buy into Copycat at all.
Well, Gene, first of all, you question whether serial killers are entertaining, and of course you make a mistake there because subject matter is neutral.
Yeah,
a good movie or a bad movie can be made about serial killers, and I would answer...
And I knew it, because
yes,
I liked Seven earlier this month. I liked it,
of the Lambs
so I know that.
and Seven are 2 examples I would give you
I
of good
find
movies.
them generally
and
depressing.
And as for this film, I think one of the things you didn't really point out is how wonderful Holly Hunter's performance is in this movie. It is one, I think it's a better performance than the one she gave in Piano. She is so fascinating in this all-male, threatening world in which she deals with people on a first-name basis as kind of a friendly little inoffensive person who is steel inside. As you can see when she's walking down the corridor and she's looking one way while walking another way, and you can see her thinking and churning away. And there are so many dimensions here. I saw her in another movie just recently, and I realized how different she is in Copycat than in this other role. It's a really interesting performance.
The performance is fine. She's walking through this picture, but the material, I mean, did you buy into this story like you bought into Seven or Silence of the Lambs?
These movies have different skills and different things that are good about them.
They sure do.
In this movie, the point is not the story, the point is the acting, which is so fine.
But I said the acting is at another level than the material. The material stinks.
Well, the acting is the material, Gene, in a way.
That's what you think.
When we come back, Nicolas Cage is drinking himself to death and falling in love at the same time in Leaving Las Vegas.
have some free
Friendly's introduces new frozen yogurt that tastes as good as our ice cream. 12 delicious flavors. 5 are 97% fat-free.
Now get any 2 half-gallons of yogurt or ice cream for just $5 at Friendly's restaurants.
Where can you get 2 eggs, 2 pancakes with 2 sausages or 2 strips of bacon for just $2.22? Friendly's.
Yes?
Mrs. Lorraine Gold?
Yes.
Kevin Seal from the TV show Cable is On. Have you ever had cable TV?
Years ago.
Today, cable's a better value than ever before.
Really?
Yes, hours of great programs. First-run movies, 24-hour news, and more. Lots of programming you'll love on dozens of channels.
Oh.
Why, to get you to try cable TV again, I'll do anything. I'll even jump through hoops.
Thank you.
Right now, you can get cable installed for just $9.95 and get all your other TVs hooked up at the same time for a really low price.
Come in, Kevin.
Plus, sign up for Double Tape or to Showtime, HBO, the Movie Channel, or Cinemax and get a second one free for a month. Just call 1-800-CABLE-ME. That's 1-800-CABLE-ME for $9.95 installation and Double Tape. So what do you think?
Oh, I'm so glad I signed up. Look, pro wrestling. Pin him!
Cable is on. Our room's not far. It's the whole year in. You can drive with me if you want, or we can walk. Or I could give you money for cab fare.
In the car.
Really, whatever you want.
Why don't you give me the money in the car?
Nicolas Cage plays a man who has come to Las Vegas determined to drink himself to death, and in that scene, he's trying to pick up a hooker played by Elizabeth Shue to make part of that journey with him. Their love story forms the center of Leaving Las Vegas, a romantic and heartbreaking and operatic new film that is clearly one of the year's best. One of the remarkable achievements of the movie is the way Nicolas Cage plays a man who is drunk in nearly every scene and yet somehow keeps a lid on it so he doesn't turn into an exaggerated movie stereotype.
Why are you killing yourself?
Interesting choice of words. I don't remember. I just know that I want to.
Now here is probably the key scene in the movie, setting up the conditions of their relationship. Elizabeth Shue, who has basically played light comedy and romance in movies like Adventures in Babysitting, Cocktail, and two of the Back to the Future movies, shows an entirely different side of her talent here.
You can never ask me to stop drinking. Do you understand?
I do. I really do.
The sadness in the movie is that their love, large as it is not quite as large as his hurt.
Looks like I'm with the right girl.
The movie was written and directed by Mike Figgis, who specializes in such film noir as Stormy Monday and Eternal Affairs. And he based this script on an autobiographical novel by a man named John O'Brien, who killed himself just 2 weeks after signing the film deal. Here is a movie about love and self-hate, about romance and alcoholism, played out against the 24-hour-a-day indifference of Las Vegas. It is a great film.
It is a great film, and it's going to make my list of the year's 10 best, too, and I'm really glad you like it. I've been describing Nicolas Cage as one of our best actors for a number of years now, a guy taking more risks than anybody else. Usually he takes them with outward behavior. Now in this picture, he's keeping it all pretty much bottled inside, and he's still exciting. So he doesn't have to be a mannered actor to be a really fine actor, and that's a great development for him. Elizabeth Shue, you mentioned, this is a blossoming role. Mike Figgis, again, credit for him. This guy is a real director. He doesn't dumb it down in any of his pictures. He writes smart characters, dealing with very real problems. He keeps it at a reality level. No matter what the setting, it's a great piece of work.
Here is a movie that was made on a small budget. They shot this movie in 16 millimeter on the streets of Vegas without, you know, getting permission from the cops or anything like that. They just went in and shot it because they knew exactly what they wanted, and they didn't want to compromise. You can understand what could have happened to this movie if studio executives got their hands on it, you know.
Start with the ending.
Can't end like that, you know.
No.
Oh, is he going to be drunk all the time?
No.
And he is drunk all the time, and he doesn't play it like the kind of character that you get tired of watching. He is drunk, and at the same time, he's fascinating.
Also, the Vegas setting, here are the people that you do pass along the streets, the quarreling couples, the people with the little bitter edge to them. It's all very real. Superb piece of work.
Wonderful film. Coming up next, Never Talk to Strangers, another serial killer story, this one starring Antonio Banderas and Rebecca De Mornay.
What are you doing in my apartment?
Looking for you.
Imagine a video store where the hits are never out of stock, no late return fees, free delivery, and thousands of movies. Stop dreaming. Get DirecTV. Over 50 channels of movies, and I choose when I want to watch them. Hits, classics, new releases, beamed in digitally for great picture and sound. Imagine never hearing, "Please be kind, rewind."
Now for as low as $34.95 a month, you can own the 18-inch DSS dish of your choice with DirecTV programming. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Did my folks get to Disney World okay?
Uh-huh.
Still can't believe they went by themselves. They're getting so weird.
I think it's cute.
Yeah, but you know how they are. Dad will bury his nose in a book. The mom will spend half the day just sitting around. Can't you picture it? They'll have dinner in front of the TV, and by 10, they'll be dead on their feet.
You're awful.
Hey, I love them. But right now, I bet they're thinking, gosh, this place just isn't the same without the kids.
Call 1-407-W-DISNEY and make the dream come true.
In Never Talk to Strangers, it's Rebecca De Mornay who gets the criminal psychologist role, and you know what that means. Yes, a serial killer may be after her. So what does she do while being stalked? Well, first she decides to pick up a mysterious stranger played by Antonio Banderas, the male flavor of the month these days, who accosts her in a Toronto grocery store.
A good domestic Pinot Noir? No. That's a contradiction in terms.
Ever had cholera?
Ever had Latage?
Another suspect in the mayhem in this story, her upstairs neighbor, played by comedian Dennis Miller, who is making a nice film career out of playing neighbors and friends.
I don't have any vodka. I hate vodka.
Well, she loves vodka.
Well, good. She even old enough to drink? What do you guys talk about?
Who said we talk about anything? There are other ways for a man and a woman to relate.
Of course, she takes up Antonio Banderas on his invitation to come to his apartment. Aren't all women psychologists mentally screwed up, deeply troubled, and sexually deprived? What an insult.
You're a bad influence.
How bad?
Well, here I am, getting drunk with a stranger.
And naturally, they hit it off emotionally. Sorry, we can't show you the sex scene.
I suppose my job is about making people feel safe.
You're good at it.
You think?
A lot of this film is absurd, making Never Talk to Strangers almost bad enough to be good. It doesn't have the high-minded pretensions of Copycat. All it offers is that sex scene with some cheap thrills. I didn't enjoy it. I don't recommend it. But I appreciated the honesty of its intentions compared with Copycat. Still, thumbs way down for me on Never Talk to Strangers.
Rebecca De Mornay is a very good actress, and she's actually good in a couple of scenes in this movie. But the movie itself, as you mentioned, is a complete mess, and I'm surprised that a director like Peter Hall could have directed this or signed off on the screenplay. Here's a guy who's made distinguished movies. He's been very distinguished on the stage in London, and the ending of this movie is complete up for grabs. It's like the screenplay landed at random in front of them, and they started shooting.
Well,
it.
they worked out a story that is so convoluted and preposterous that it is like, you know, they could throw a dart at anybody and you say, okay, that's the movie. Coming up next, our video pick of the week, an award-winning Holly Hunter performance as good as her work in Copycat.
Are Saturday nights worth the trouble? You know, like deciding what to wear, making small talk,
Shrimp soup, shrimp stew, shrimp salad.
finding something fun to do, and that awkward goodnight kiss. Maybe you'd rather just stay in with HBO Saturday nights. With a brand new to HBO movie every Saturday night, guaranteed, we're your perfect date. HBO, simply the best.
Luxury cars are known for their high resale value. But what if we told you there's a car that holds its value better than the Lexus LS 400, better than the BMW 7 Series, better than any Mercedes sedan built, and it costs under $16,000? Would that stop you? The Nissan Altima, the affordable luxury sedan. Calculations of 93 Altima retaining more of its MSRP than 93 listed models based on information from the NADA guide.
In space, no one can hear you scream. Your living room might be a different story. Buy the Alien Trilogy, 3 times the terror at a new low price from Fox Video.
Can't be done.
When Pepperidge Farm announced their new fat-free cookies and brownies,
It's an oxymoron.
folks asked, could anything taste Pepperidge Farm and be fat-free?
Never be rich.
Fat-free cookies and brownies with real imported cocoa, some drizzled with fudge.
Won't taste Pepperidge Farm.
All natural and all-out delicious. Fat-free cookies and brownies, not just fat-free. Pepperidge Farm fat-free.
One name that's always on the job, Arrow. The Arrow T50 staple gun for insulation and 1,001 household uses. The hot melt glue gun with automatic lever feed for home repairs and arts and crafts. T50 staple gun hot melt glue gun. Arrow, you'll grow attached.
The Century Plaza, offering the finest in luxury service in Southern California style, adjacent to Beverly Hills and LA's fashionable West Side. The Century Plaza Hotel and Tower, a Westin hotel.
Holly Hunter got a lot of praise in 1993 for her work in The Piano, which won her an Academy Award as Best Actress. But my favorite Hunter performance from that year took place in a made-for-cable movie with the wonderful name, The Positively True Adventures of the Alleged Texas Cheerleader Murdering Mom, for which she won an Emmy. In the movie, she plays a totally self-centered Texas woman who wants her daughter to make the cheerleader squad and will do anything to help that happen, even if it means murdering the mother of one of the girl's rivals in order to distract the competition.
How much would it cost to have somebody put down? Huh?
I don't know, 10, 15, 20,000.
a lot of money, isn't it?
Well, you aren't just knocking down a five and dime store. You're talking capital murder.
I know.
As in Copycat and many of her other performances, Hunter finds the right tone for a character and then she sticks to it.
What should I wear for jail? Should I change into some jeans?
The name of that movie, once again, The Positively True Adventures of the Alleged Texas Cheerleader Murdering Mom. It's my video pick of the week. Now let's take another look at the movies we reviewed on this show. 2 thumbs down for Eddie Murphy's Vampire in Brooklyn, which isn't funny and isn't interesting and isn't even pleasant to look at. We split on Woody Allen's new comedy, Mighty Aphrodite. I especially admired Mira Sorvino's work as a hooker who finds a friend instead of a client. Her performance was all that Gene did like about the movie. We split again on Copycat with its intense and focused Holly Hunter performance as a cop who's cheerful on the outside and all wound up inside. I liked it. Gene found the thriller elements routine. 2 enthusiastic thumbs up for the heartbreaking romance Leaving Las Vegas and its great performances by Nicolas Cage and Elizabeth Shue. We both think it's one of the year's best movies. And finally, 2 thumbs down, way down for the abysmal Never Talk to Strangers with Rebecca De Mornay and Antonio Banderas wasted in a pointless see-through screenplay.
That's it for this week. Next week we'll be back with reviews of more new movies, including a new film directed by Jodie Foster, Home for the Holidays, starring, guess who, Holly Hunter and Robert Downey Jr. And also, William Baldwin tries to save Cindy Crawford from a group of assassins in Fair Game. That's next week, and until then, the balcony is closed.
The Game of Knowledge, the exciting and educational game for children and parents too. The Game of Knowledge, new from University Games. Blade clip-ons, the refillable air freshener designed specially for your car. Now with more freshening power.
Alpine Lace fat-free cheese. No fat, 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 no fat.